Golden light on the kitchen table, sunset dancing on the glass.
There is a quiet moment in the life of every successful idea, a moment when the scaffolding that helped build it is no longer necessary, when the project stands up, not because someone is holding it, but because it has learned how to do it by itself. Today, we are talking about that moment. The lifestyle brand, as ever, created by Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, has officially ended its launch partnership with Netflix and will now move forward independently. And before anyone rushes to interpret that this is a failure, we should slow down and ask a better question. Is this actually the opposite? It is the moment when a brand proves it no longer needs the launch vehicle that helped introduce it to the world. So today, we're going to look at how the brand began, why Netflix helped launch it, why the separation was described as amicable, why independence may actually be the strongest signal of growth. And we're also asking something interesting. How many successful companies began inside of partnerships only to strive once they stepped out of their own? Welcome. This is Majesty Sussex Report, and I'm Antonio. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time here with us. And we will begin where the story actually starts. Don't go anywhere.
Strawberry sweet in a jar of morning, little moments made to last. I remember laughter in the doorway, friends arriving unannounced, simple gifts and quiet kindness. That's where joy is always found. It started with a spoon and a smile at the start of the day. La, 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 da, 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 la, 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 da, da, da. As ever, loving the little things. As ever, joy that the morning brings. Spread a little sweetness everywhere. Life feels lighter when you care. As ever.
Long before a trademark filing or a brand strategy meeting, the idea behind As Ever was far simpler. According to Meghan herself, the concept began with something personal, making fruit spreads and preserves for friends and family, a ritual, a homemade gesture. But sometimes small rituals reveal larger possibilities. In 2024, Meghan formally launched a lifestyle brand initially called American Riviera Orchard, referring to the Santa Barbara region where she lives. The company later rebranded, and it rebranded to As Ever, a name she had previously considered and preferred creatively. The brand's focus was clear from the beginning: food, home, hospitality, everyday rituals elevated into moments of care, making it special. Then something important happened. The first collection of products, including fruit spreads, teas, baking mixes, and decorative ingredients, sold out. And when I mean sold out, I mean sold out extremely quickly. The limited edition honey reportedly sold out in, guess what? No, you guess. Come on. 10? No. 5 minutes. And the broader collection sold out in less than come on, you folks know this. 24 hours? 5 hours? 2? Anyone that said 1? Correct. 1 hour. Now, pause there for a moment, okay? Think about this. This is your launch products, and the entire collection sold out in 1 hour. Actually, some may say less than 1 hour. So that is not a behavior of a struggling brand, right? That is demand, which raises the next question. If the brand already had demand, why involve Netflix at all? To understand the partnership, we need to go back a few years. In 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex signed a multi year production agreement with Netflix to create films, documentaries, and series through their company Archwell Productions. That collaboration produced several projects, including the documentary series Harry and Meghan, still the number one ever documentary category. The numbers that are pulled in, no one has been able to beat it yet. Heart of Invictus, an incredible, incredible, incredible. Live to Lead, please watch it. Really good. Polo, loved it. So everything they've done so far, I've absolutely loved. And the lifestyle series, of course, with Love, Meghan. The cooking and lifestyle show with Love Meghan, which premiered in March 2025, was closely connected to the launch of the brand. Netflix Consumer Product Division helped support the rollout of As Ever during its early phase. Think of it this way. Netflix wasn't simply streaming content. It was experimenting with a larger ecosystem. Storytelling, lifestyle content, consumer product tied to personalities. And this model is not unusual. Streaming companies increasingly explore retail and consumer product partnership tied to their content. But then something shifted. The brand leaves the Launchpad. So the announcement was made. Representatives for As Ever and Netflix confirmed that the partnership would end and the brand would continue independently. Both sides described the separation positively. A spokesperson for the brand said the partnership helped launch the company and that the brand was now ready to stand on its own. Netflix expressed similar sentiments, praising Megan's vision and acknowledging its role in helping bring the brand to market. That language matters, my friends, because it does not describe collapse, it describes transition. Launch partners are often temporary by design. Think of them as a rocket booster, right? Powerful, necessary for liftoff. But once in orbit, or once orbit is reached, they fall, basically, they fall away. Which brings us to an important question. Is this unusual in business? Well, the answer is not at all. It's pretty common. When partnerships end and success begins, many modern brands began inside larger partnerships or platforms, then eventually stepped away. Consider these examples: Oprah Winfrey and Oxygen Media. In the early stages of building a television network for women, Oprah partnered with existing media infrastructure before eventually launching own network independently. Jessica Alba and The Honest Company, before building her billion-dollar consumer brand, Alba worked with major retail partnership to establish distribution and brand awareness. And the mother of all, Rihanna's Fenty Beauty. Fenty launched with the backing of LVMH luxury infrastructure, but quickly became powerful enough to stand as one of the most successful celebrity driven brands in cosmetics. This pattern is clear, right? Partnerships create visibility, independence creates ownership, which raises another question. Could there be strategic reasons for Netflix stepping back now? Perhaps.
as ever line. Because if there's one thing I love to do is to buy the products of women who have been unnecessarily scrutinized and criticized, and still they're winning. So today we have 3 wines from the Duchess of Sussex's wine collection. I'm so excited to try these. And look at how beautifully this came packaged, because like everything Meghan does, it's done with excellence. Each individual bottle is wrapped with a beautiful piece of tissue paper and a logoed sticker. Love that. Never had wine delivered to me like this. This is the beautiful rosé. This is the Brut, the Method Champenoise. And this one I'm very excited about, the Sauvignon Blanc. Up first is the rosé. And look how cute this is. Even the little bottle stoppers say as ever. Love that extra touch. And before you come for me, I used to serve wine in my 20s in a very high-end restaurant, so I know how to open wine. But right now, I'm just trying to make this video. This very subtle touch of pink in the color. Do you see? That is a beautiful rosé color. I'm getting hints of apricot, a little bit of green apple, a little grapefruit even. Oh, that is a lovely rosé. I am not even a rosé girl, but this I like. That's delightful. Now let's try the Sauvignon Blanc. Oh, I am instantly in love. Very peach forward. I have a feeling this is going to become my new favorite Sauvignon Blanc because just of the way that it smells. Beautiful color. Definitely getting peach here. I almost get a sense of a rose and definitely some citrus, maybe like a blood orange. That is a fantastic Sauvignon Blanc. Now I'm going to take the Brut to a family party right now. I'm heading out the door with all 3 of these for everybody to try. So I'm going to film people in my family trying this one because I don't want to pop the bubbly without them being present. All in all, this is a phenomenal lineup of wines. Really, you cannot go wrong with a single one of these. I don't get anything from promoting this. I just love Meghan and I love supporting women who are kicking butt despite all the ridiculous criticism and harsh views against them. And so I like to spend my money on supporting women who are dealing with nonsense and still doing great things in the world. If you want to get these, you can go over to Meghan's As Ever website and grab them. Well, I'm back from the party and I'm sorry, I don't have any champagne to show you because the minute everybody tasted the wines and the champagnes, they descended upon it like vultures and drank all of it because it was so dang good. So I guess that is your testimonial on how good the Brut. Come back for another episode of Revenge Buying, Duchess of Sussex's As Ever line. Welcome to my series.
Now the streaming industry is changing. As most of us know, or the sort of deal that Netflix was in negotiations to purchase or to buy Paramount, their deal didn't go through, even though they had put some good money on it. But someone else came along and offered a lot more. And Netflix decided to walk away. So here's where I enter into interpretation, right? These are not confirmed facts, but based on my research, I feel comfortable saying the following. Because I've observed that there is a shift in the streaming industry. In recent years, Netflix has adjusted its strategy, and most businesses do. You have to be able to pivot, reducing large upfront development deals, focusing more on profitable content models. We know that Netflix is very famous for just perhaps giving a series like one season or max 2, right? And then it's done. They just, well, even when the series might be still popular, exploring physical retail stores and merchandise strategies. Some analysts have also speculated about broader industry consolidation, including potential acquisitions or partnership involving other media companies. If Netflix strategy priorities have shifted, which I think they have, consumer product collaborations may change as well. That does not necessarily reflect negatively on the brand. It may simply reflect corporate strategy. And now, remember something really crucial. The Netflix relationship with Archwell Productions still exists. The production partnership remains active even as the retail brand moves independently. So this is not a severing of ties. It is a narrowing of scope. The global growth ahead. Now here's the part many observers overlook. The brand's current product availability is largely in the US, right? It's US focused, which means something obvious. The international market is still largely untouched. And that market is enormous. Did I say enormous? Yeah, I did. Think about it. Millions of supporters of the Sussexes live across Europe, Africa, Asia, Latin America, the Caribbean, right? Canada, Australia, New Zealand. Yet the brand has only begun distribution in the US. So that is not a limitation. Folks, that is a runway. And there is another question worth asking here. What happens when a brand that already sells out within minutes, what happens when it expands globally? So the pattern we've seen before. If you follow the story of the Sussexes over the last several years, a pattern becomes very clear. Step away from an institution, build something independently, face intense criticism in every single stage and everything you do, then slowly watch the project stabilize and grow. Archwell, Invictus Content, podcasting, as ever, with love, Meghan. Each began under scrutiny. Each evolved through experimentation. Each ultimately moved towards independence, which leads to the larger point. A business leaving its launch partner is not always a setback. Sometimes it is simply a sign that the training wheels are no longer required.
It's recording.
Okay. Cat's out of the bag. I'm shocked we've kept this a secret for so long. In 2 weeks, my show is coming out, which I'm so excited for. And also my business, which I think there's been a lot of curiosity about. Last year, I had thought, you know what, American Riviera, that sounds like such a great name. It's my neighborhood. It's a nickname for Santa Barbara. But it limited me to things that were just manufactured and grown in this area. Then Netflix came on, not just as my partner in the show, but as my partner in my business, which was huge. So I thought about it, and I've been waiting for a moment to share a name that I had secured in 2022, and this is the moment. And it's called As Ever. As Ever essentially means as it's always been. And if you followed me since 2014 with the TIG, you know I've always loved cooking and crafting and gardening. This is what I do, and I haven't been able to share it with you in the same way for the past few years, but now I can. So as things are starting to trickle out there, I wanted you to hear it from me first. Of course, there will be fruit preserves. I think we're all clear at this point that jam is my jam. But there's so many more products that I just love that I use in my home, and now it's time to share it with you. So I can't wait for you to see it. Thanks, guys.
It's recording.
Okay. Cat's out of the...
Morning light on cobblestone dreams, Parions by the river Seine, your hand in mine, the world feels kind, simple pleasures call my name, chocolate lips and candle glow, steam from tea and porcelain white, every little thing you give turns the ordinary into light. You don't rush, you don't shout, love arrives in quiet ways, a jar of sweetness on a table, and suddenly the day feels safe. does ever come to you. Love lives in what we do, in the care, the time, the touch, in the moments we choose, does ever come to you. Soft mornings, hearts held true, from your hands into my life, I feel loved as ever I do. Sunday bell.
And there you have it, a few of headlines that I grabbed in regards to how this announcement is being reported on. And I thought, let's do some media literacy analysis of those headlines. So when you line up the headlines side by side, something interesting becomes quite clear. They're simply not reporting on the event itself. They are guiding the reader towards a specific conclusion. So let's sort of break it down. So let's look at the language by how this is being framed. What they want you to believe. So look at the verbs that are being used. Cuts ties, withdraws investment, exit business, in limbo, deal up in the air. These words are all implying instability, failure, or retreat. But also notice what is missing. None of those headlines say things like brand moves independent, partnership ends amicably, brand transitions to independent ownership. I mean, there are some publications that say that, but I'm just showing the ones that don't, and why we should be, clocking them. So a partnership ends basically, right? Because the event is actually a neutral event itself. So just saying a partnership ends, there's nothing wrong in that. But the emotional interpretation is inserted through words of choice. Instead of transition, the language suggests rejection or collapse. This is not neutral reporting. That is narrative framing. So another important pattern, multiple outlets repeating nearly identical framing. For example, the Daily Mail or Daily Fail, The Independent, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, all using variations of Netflix exits or cut ties. This creates the illusion that many independent outlets reach the same conclusion. But here's the media literacy part, my friends. Sometimes they are not independent voices at all. So several of the outlets involved in entertainment coverage actually belong to the same corporate media group or the same person. Example, the entertainment trade publications like Variety, Deadline, and The Hollywood Reporter, all of them reported negatively on the exit or the transition, are all part of a consolidated media ecosystem connected to Penske Media Corporation, controlled by publisher Jay Penske. Now, I was going to mention something else as an example, but no, I'm not going to. I'll leave it out for now. So, that company owns a large cluster of Hollywood industry publications, including Variety, Deadline, Rolling Stones, IndieWire, Billboard, The Hollywood Reporter. So when those outlets publish similar headlines, it is not necessarily 5 independent editorial judgments. It may be one media ecosystem producing multiple narratives simultaneously. different logos, similar framing, same pipeline. So there is a series, season 1 of this series was made in Canada by taxpayers' money because we support the arts. And it's on HBO in the US and around the world, I think. And it's become quite popular to show. Some of it is, I mean, episode 1 and 2 has some graphic intimacy scenes, if I can put it that way. So the two main protagonists, the two main stars of the series, one is White from Texas. He plays a Russian in the series, does it really, really well. The other person is mixed, white Asian, but his physicality, he looks Asian. So it's interesting to see the discord happening between these two actors, and they're actually both phenomenal actors. I thought they did an extraordinary job. But you start to look at how their careers is going to be framed and who may have the better opportunity and who may not. Because consistently a pattern is, if you've got two, whether it's a series or a movie, you have a white and a non-white actor as the two main protagonists or main stars in whatever entertainment medium. Usually they will be hyped up at the beginning, and then you'll see slowly or quickly, in this case, they will start pushing the white actor more. And publications that are owned by pesky media, they've been writing some really nasty articles about the mixed Asian actor, saying that he's awful, he's not good at what he does, all this nonsense. In the meanwhile, pushing the white actor. As a matter of fact, they have sort of elevated one of the other white actors, and they're pushing those two instead of the mixed Asian actor. And the discourse is fascinating when you're able to read with sort of this discernment, knowing that all of these magazines are actually owned by the same person. And allegedly, if that person doesn't like you, or if you don't, accept one of his invitations to a restaurant or to eat or to dinner or to whatever, all of a sudden you will start seeing quite negative articles written about you. And the funny thing is that people think that each one of these magazines are independent, right? Independent editorials, but they're not. So if you see a negative article of this actor in Deadline, you're like, oh man, okay, I guess like they don't like him. But then you see it also in the Rolling Stone, and you're like, oh, maybe he is really like awful or bad or something. Maybe he is a bad actor. And then you see in Variety, and now there's 3 publications, and you're thinking, oh no, like he has a reputation. Must be really bad. Yeah, I don't know if I like him anymore. So you see, a judgment now is formed off of 3 different publications because you think they're independently owned when they're not. They're owned by the same person. Fascinating stuff. And I think that's one of the things that we need to be very aware of when it comes to media literacy. So when we look at the tabloid ecosystem, for example, the Daily Fail, meanwhile, operates inside the UK tabloid system and is owned by Daily Mail and General Trust, DMGT, controlled by Humsworth family under Viscount Rothermere. Let me say that again. Viscount Rothermere. Folks, I'm so sorry. Sometimes I am absolutely a child. I really am, okay? Forgive me, pardon me. I may edit it out, I'm not sure. Okay. Um so the paper historically has been associated with sort of strong editorial positions and aggressive celebrity coverage. That context matters when interpreting tone because tabloids are not designed primarily to inform, they are designed to generate engagement and emotional reaction. When you combine these dynamics, emotionally loaded language, multiple outlets repeating the same framing, overlapping ownership structures, you get something quite powerful, a narrative that appears organic and widely agreed upon, even when the underlying event is much simpler. A business partnership ends, but the coverage frames it as a rejection, a collapse, a crisis. That framing encourages the reader to conclude something went wrong, even if the facts themselves do not necessarily say that. Media literacy requires asking one simple question: what happened? Versus, what am I being encouraged to believe happened? Those two things are not always the same. And once you start looking at ownership structure, language patterns, and narrative repetition, you begin to see something clearly. In modern media, the story is often constructed long before the reader arrives. Understanding that difference is the first step towards understanding how media ecosystems shape perception. Stay aware of what is being fed to you. Be aware of who is telling the story, right? Who is telling the story? Who owns the publication that's telling the story?
Lil Tony responds, yeah, you know he's on. Tiny voice, big truth. Watch him drop the proof. Lil Tony responds, he's clever and calm. When the grown folks argue, he brings the charm. Little sneakers on the floor, big ideas knocking at the door. He listens close, he thinks it through, then he tells you what is true. No shout and no pretend, just facts he's gonna send. Small but mighty, that's his tone. Standing firm all on his own. Hey! Wait, what? Okay, let's talk about it.
Hey everyone, Lil Tony here, your body language and lip reader specialist.
Okay, wait a minute. Little Tony, is this one of your other sort of invented like abilities or tricks or whatever it is that you come up with? Listen, I know ever so often you are right, and ever so often like you do end up in certain places I don't expect you to know people, but you're not a body language expert. Come on.
I really don't know why you question me, because you know I'm gonna win, you're gonna lose. I have my degree from the Royal Institute of Body Language and Lip Reading. I'm an expert. I'm not like these other people that don't have a degree. I have a degree, a legitimate degree from the Royal Institute. So what I say is completely valid. 102,000%. I really don't know why you question me, because you're going to lose. Now just let me get back to what I was going to do, okay? What I would like to do is to present to you this gem of a photograph. Now, let's be honest here. The royals, they're just so expressive, aren't they? So let's dive right into this highly intense, deeply complex look at Prince William, okay? So first and foremost, to start with this, let's look at the picture on the left. What are we seeing? The headline says he is missing Kate, but let's see what his real feelings are. Look at that open mouth expression. He's actually laughing, isn't he? But let me read his lips. I know it's not moving or anything, but I am so specialized in this. His lips doesn't have to move for me to know what he's saying. And he is saying, ew, 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 ew. Is this all there is to making pastries? Oh, this dough, ew, 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 ew. It's sticky on my royal fingers. Ew, 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 ew. Why can't my valet do this? Do you know who I am? I am Prince William. For goodness sake. I have people to handle this texture. And this apron? Oh, I can't believe it has a logo on it. Do they not do monogram in Cornwall? Where am I anyways? He's not missing Kate. He's missing his butler. Or maybe his assistant? Maybe his communication person? I don't know. The person he took to Brazil? Clearly a very stressful situation for him.
Okay, little Tony, just a minute though. I just want to say this stuff is all alleged, allegedly alleged. This is not a science, or is it a science? I'm not sure, but this is all allegedly. Okay.
Listen, just let me do my work, okay? Okay. Now, this next picture. He is apparently crimping. But look at his body language. Look at how he's leaning in, focused so intensely. That's not focus. That's guilt. I know it is. The guilt that he's feeling is because he knows he's messed up. He's not doing this correctly because he's never touched that kind of dough ever in his life. Now you see that little smile he has and his little shoulder thing and the hand thing? That's because what you didn't see before this photo was taken was that his very best friend, like his best buddy friend, Jason, I think that's his name, Jason, came over and whispered something in his ear, and that made him happy. So you smiled a little bit. That's really, really good. So that's what the body language is saying to me right now. It's saying that, he's a little bit uncomfortable, but as long as Jason is around and is able to whisper in his ear, everything is going to be good, right? Very simple. Very, very simple. Now, look who it is. It is the Cuddle Queen. Yes, I'm calling it the Cuddle Queen. Well, Queen to be. Herself, Princess Kate. Out in the Welsh rain, proving that even with a $1 billion-pound umbrella, you still can't escape a sticky situation. Strap in, people, because little Johnny is about to read this body language like a discarded tabloid in a rain puddle. You ready for this? Okay, so let's zoom in. Let's look at Kate's face. Her face says it all. She's in full crisis right now. Full crisis. Look at her face. That is the look of a woman who just realized the no touching rule has officially left the building. You see, this is what I call the Meghan effect. Yes, you heard me right. The Duchess of Sussex, Meghan effect. Before a certain someone from California showed up and started hugging everybody like it was party favors going around, you couldn't get within 5 feet of a royal without a formal invitation and a background check. Now, it's a free-for-all. Everyone wants a piece of the royal sweater. I mean, come on. You can see her. She's panicking. Now, I can read her lips without her lips moving. Let me see what is she saying there. Count to five. Count to five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will be queen. I'm going to be queen. Yes, I will be queen. I will be queen. All the diamonds, all the tiaras. Yeah, I can wear them. I can put them on. I can dance with them. Yeah, and I will demand a castle. Yes, a castle. No, a palace. A palace. Which one should I demand? I will demand one of them. Yes, I will. I will be queen. I will be queen.
Okay, little Tony, your segment has run out of time, so we've got to wrap up. Have to say goodbye.
I still have more pictures to analyze. Oh well. Okay. Bye, everyone. Until next time. Bye.
All right, big lad. All right, Scotty, mate. H here. Just want to say a huge congratulations. Wow. Just thinking back to 2014, that first Invictus Games, and I think one or two others since then. And 2017, a standout moment for me was when your leg broke, your running blade broke, and you carried on. You didn't let it stop you. You finished the race. You crossed the finish line. I think you even finished second place. That was such a true example of your spirit and your determination. Throughout your recovery process, you have never faltered. You have pushed through on every single element, and look at where you are now. You're now representing Team GB again, not for the first time, but this time for the first time, you're carrying our flag. That is huge. Huge respect, mate. Congrats. I hope you're really happy. I hope you can feel proud of where you've got to. And now all you need to do is smash the PBs, get a medal if you want, and most importantly, have fun. Everybody, all of us at Invictus are seriously proud of you. And I'm honoured to call you a mate. Well done you. You're a fantastic example to everybody. And your resilience means more now than it ever could be. Ever could have done. So go out there, show people what you're made of, and know that every single time you go out there and do what you do, you're inspiring so many other people. So thank you for being you. Cheers, mate.
Across several outlets, we see phrases like Netflix cut ties, Netflix exit, investment withdraw, projects in limbo, debacle, kiss of death. Now pause for a moment and ask a simple question. What are these headlines encouraging the reader to believe? Not that a partnership ended, not that a business arrangement evolved. No, the reader is being nudged towards something far more dramatic. Failure, collapse, rejection. This is what media analysts call economic failure framing. Remember that. Economic failure framing. They've been doing it for a while now. The underlying event may be neutral. A partnership ended. A contract evolved. A brand shifting direction. But the language is carefully chosen so the audience hears something else entirely. And once you notice it, something becomes clear. This is not a new narrative. It is a pattern that has followed Meghan Sussex since 2017. A project launches and headlines predict failure. A partnership forms and headlines predict collapse. A business succeeds and the framing suggests the opposite. And sometimes the language becomes even more revealing. One outlet writes, Netflix exit Meghan Markle's $64 scented candle business. Notice what happened there? The brand is reduced to a single product and its price tag, not the broader business, not the lifestyle brand, not the product collection, just a candle. And then they are the mysterious experts. Page 6 declares the partnership a debacle, citing an unnamed expert. No name, no credentials, no accountability. Just authority without identification. That is not analysis. That, my friends, is theater. And then we see another detail repeated again and again. Despite the brand being associated with Meghan Sussex, many outlets insist on using Meghan Markle. They continue to do it throughout. I just bring that up because Femi Negra is able to say Meghan Sussex. Why can't the rest of them? A name and choice that subtly, reinforces the narrative of separation from the life she built after leaving the royal institution. These may appear like small editorial choices, but taken together, they create something powerful, a narrative ecosystem where the reader is guided towards the same conclusion again and again. Something must have gone wrong, even when the facts themselves do not necessarily say that. There is an old trick in media. If you repeat a suggestion often enough, it begins to sound like fact. Failure, debacle, collapse. The words arrive first. Evidence arrives later, if at all. But here is the quiet irony in all of this. A brand whose first product launches and sells out. A global audience still waiting for international availability. A creator whose name continues to generate headlines across the world. And the press tells us this is decline? One might almost admire the persistence because the pattern has been running for nearly a decade now. Project after project announced dead on arrival. Career declare finished more times than one can count. And yet somehow, mysteriously, inconveniently, the work continues. The ventures expand, the audience grows. Which leaves us with a rather uncomfortable question for the professional doom predictors. If this is failure, what exactly would you consider success? What would success look like to you? Sometimes the loudest thing in a story is not the event itself, it is the noise surrounding it. And once you learn to separate those two, the event and the noise, the headlines begin to look less like journalism and more like choreography. And choreography, however elaborate, cannot change a simple fact. Reality has a stubborn habit of continuing long, long after the narrative has already declared it finished. Na 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 na. All right, my beautiful people, here we are. Here we are to the end of our podcast or episode for today. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for spending some of your time. And to those in the cloud also who show up and listen and watch and so on, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It all makes a difference. If you're new around here and you just discovered us, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Just do it. Just do it, okay? It helps us somehow, somewhere. Like, comment, share, do the cha-cha-cha, all those things that algorithm wants us to do. It helps the channel, and I do appreciate it enormously. For those that have been here forever, I say thank you. Thank you for your continued support. For those who show up in the chat always, you are my heroes. Thank you so very, very, very much for taking the time and showing up and having these little conversations on the side. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And to all of you, thank you. To our members, our royal court, our members, you are one special bunch. Thank you for your support. Thank you for believing in this channel. Thank you for believing in me. I appreciate it so very much. And this is it. As I've said before, the world is crazy. There's a lot of negative and a lot of dark energy and evil energy in the space, in the atmosphere. So what are you folks going to do for me? Come on. What are you going to do for me? You are going to be joyful. Listen, there are moments when I know there's no joy, okay? I understand that. And allow yourself to feel the emotion. Allow yourself to feel it. But then, don't let it consume you. Don't let it take over. Remember, we are created to rejoice, to be happy, to live life at its fullest. So, put on your favorite song, put on your favorite music, no shoes necessary, and just cha-cha-cha, or just do whatever you want to do. Sing out loud. Sing out loud. Sing out loudly. Or something like that. I don't know. By the way, I had coffee, so I'm kind of hyper right now. So, as I said, let's do our part. Let's do our part to make sure that good, joy, happiness, let's make sure that it gets out there in the atmosphere, in the universe, and we can fight this evil. Okay? Now, remember, be kind to yourselves, be kind to your loved ones, and to that stranger that is crossing your path, be kind to them also. You might just be the only kind person or action that they have seen or experienced in a while. Be kind. I love you all. God bless. Remember, rejoice. Rejoice in His name. Mwah. Love you. Bye-bye.
Ah. kitchen table, sunset dancing on the glass. Strawberry sweet in a jar of morning, little moments made to last. I remember laughter in the doorway, friends arriving unannounced. Simple gifts and quiet kindness, that's where joy is always found. It started with a spoon and a smile at the start of the day. My family, they said this sunshine tastes like a dream. So I asked myself a question: what'd you say? What'd you say? Could the whole wide world feel this happy today?